Good morning! Welcome to the South Ops Fire Weather Webcast for Friday, October 31st. I'm your haunted host, Kristen Stewart. The morning is starting out a little spooky for some as the marine layer has significantly deepened, leading to widespread low clouds across the coastal areas. Even though high pressure remains in control, the switchover from offshore to onshore flow was the likely reason for the deepening marine layer. These clouds should be able to clear nicely by late this morning, and abundant sunshine will be on tap for this Halloween. Today should be less windy and less hot than previous days, though it will still be quite warm for late October. The forecast remains quite uneventful as we put a bow on October and roll our way into November. High pressure will remain in control through the weekend and into early next week, keeping us warm and dry. While the high pressure will fluctuate somewhat in strength and position, there will be little overall change in our day-to-day weather as we move into early next week. A bit of a pattern change is expected as we move into the middle of next week, as a trough of low pressure moves across the northern half of the state, which will serve to bring some cooling and moistening, as well as breezy onshore winds. Some light rainfall will also be likely for the northern portions of our GA. High pressure with uneventful weather looks to rebound by the end of next week. Several more degrees of cooling are expected south and west of the coastal slopes today as the recent offshore flow that warmed us up switches back to onshore. Mid-70s to mid-80s will be common across the valleys today, with the warmest conditions for the Southern California valleys. This cooling will put temperatures more in the range of 4 to 8 degrees above seasonal normal. So still very warm for this point in the year, but not as oppressive as it was earlier this week. Temperatures will remain mostly steady through around Tuesday, with minor fluctuations day to day. Humidity is expected to rebound from the very low values we saw earlier this week as the flow switches back onshore, though it will still remain quite dry overall. Minimums will return to around the 12 to 25% range for most areas away from the deserts and coastline, except a bit higher in the San Joaquin Valley and adjacent foothills. Like temperatures, there will be little daily change in humidity through early next week. As for winds, pressure gradients have relaxed, leading to much weaker winds than earlier this week. There is no forcing for additional offshore winds as high pressure stays put. As a result, winds will be mostly light overall as we move into the beginning of next week. Remember the trough of low pressure I mentioned that is expected to move across the northern half of the state around mid-next week? This system will bring widespread rain and snow to Northern California and some light precipitation to Central California. There remains uncertainty as to how much precipitation will fall over Central California and how far south it may get, though there is high confidence that areas to the south of Point Conception will remain dry. An early look at rainfall totals suggests around a ½ inch to an inch for the higher terrain of Central California and a ¼ inch or less elsewhere. The more widespread impacts from this system will be modest cooling, increasing humidity, and a sharp increase in westerly flow across the interior. The warm and dry conditions will continue to bring large drops in dead fuel moistures into next week as fire danger indices continue to rebound from the mid-October rains. ERCs are trending closer to normal for this time of year, and in some cases will be moving above normal by early next week. Dead fuel moistures will begin dropping below normal across most time-lag classes. But of course, the big factor continues to be the October rainfall and the effect it has had on our fuelscape, with some areas experiencing a significant enough level of greenup to greatly limit fire potential for a long time to come. The ratio of dead to live fuel will significantly impact fire potential going forward, and this ratio may vary considerably by location, elevation, and aspect until additional widespread rains occur. While the dryness will persist, our significant fire potential still remains very low overall due to the light winds and the pretty substantial amount of greenup we've seen. If we were to get a more significant offshore wind event following this long dry period, then fire concerns may be greater. But right now, we're not seeing any indications of that happening over at least the next couple weeks. So while we would like to see some additional rain, right now it doesn't look like we have too much to be concerned about, even with the dry weather. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in. Our next webcast will be on Saturday, November 1st. Have a fantastic and safe Halloween.